showing up. Huh. There we go. Now we're cooking. Good morning, sweet car. How are you doing? I should probably test, make sure this all still works. Let's see. Horizontal stream on Twitch. Yeah, good deal. Good deal. It works. Wait, did that post twice? That's weird. In any event, we're here. We're back for another day. We're gonna drink some coffee. Profile go live. Twitch over here. Hey, what's up, sweet car? RFC standardization. Do you know about them? I do not know about them. I know about RFCs, but I do not know about RFC standardization. That's a new one. That's a new one for your boy. Let's see. RFC standardization. So are you just referring to like the RFC process in general? Good to see you, David Bailey. Good to see you, Mayrook. Sad news. ChatGPT Sora just pulled out its video generation tool. Now AI in most of the places reverting the changes they forced on. I called it. I made a video yesterday. I posted it at like, I don't know, like 2 o'clock. And in that video, I said they were going to bail out on Sora. And then they did. I was Nostradamus yesterday. Yeah. we had to all see that coming. I mean, they're doing a hard pivot to enterprise. They need revenue, and consumers don't want to pay. Most of their customers cost them money; they don't make them money, and they are in desperate need of. They have to figure out how to raise. They either need to make or raise billions of dollars to bridge them through to like 2027 or 2028 when they say they're going to become profitable. So I think they thought they could do it. I think they thought, okay, we'll get this browser launched, maybe Sora as a social network. They thought ads in ChatGPT. They launched a lower tier subscription. I really think they thought like, let's kind of like use a shotgun approach to try to generate as much revenue as many different streams as we can from our consumer base. And I don't think it played well. And so now they're like, okay, we've got to go get into the B2B market to make us some monies. Apparently, it isn't cheap to generate AI videos. Apparently, it's not cheap to generate anything. Inference is expensive. Good morning, Blackfire. Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. They say and they saw Anthropic's token spend and got mad jealous. Yeah. Well, Anthropic has just been ruthlessly focused on doing basically selling intelligence on a meter to businesses, right? They've been ruthlessly focused on that. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't understand how you can justify as a consumer, right? Excuse me. How you can justify paying hundreds of dollars a month for AI. Like, I know you guys a lot of you are programmers and coders and engineers, and you either do that as a hobby, or you're trying to get into it professionally, or you already are in it professionally. And so LLMs do offer you a lot of value, right? But if you're talking to somebody like my mom, right, what is the value prop of AI to her that justifies her spending, you know, 10, even 10, $50 a month on some sort of AI product? There still does not remain a killer app, so to speak, for consumer AI. It just doesn't exist. Maybe I'd love to use locally hosted AI. I ain't paying monthly fees for it. I feel you, man. I kind of I would love to too. The problem with it is I just don't want to invest in the hardware. That's my problem. Good morning, caffeinated minds. Good to see you. I love that emoji. That emoji's pretty good. Blueberry waffles. My lab finished AGI last night. Well, nice. Now you should be able to go build every single piece of existing SaaS software, and you should be able to become the largest company that's ever existed in the world now. I heard something yesterday which made a lot of sense to me. They were saying if OpenAI or Anthropic or Google had actually invented AGI, that would not be a shovel they would sell you, right? They would just go use that shovel to rebuild all the businesses that already exist, which makes a lot of sense. Even if you look at AI from the perspective of um, even if you look at AI from the perspective of just the coding agents that have become kind of the main killer product right now for a lot of these companies. Um, why wouldn't if their coding agents are so good, right? why wouldn't you, as OpenAI or Anthropic or Google, why wouldn't you just go and rebuild these large SaaS tools or products and then just go and overtake existing markets with these products, right? Because theoretically, you could undercut everyone's price because it should cost you much, much less to build and much, much less to operate. Blueberry waffles. Yep, Clara just got us with DARPA. Somehow I don't believe you, Blueberry waffles. Also, nice username. I like blueberry waffles. Happy Wednesday, Steven. Hope you had fun with your nephews. Oh, yeah, I had a blast, man. Yeah, I got back on Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, I had a blast. It was great. I got to see my niece is 3 months old. I got to see her, and my nephew is 2.5. And dude, he is the most fun. If you're a parent, you kind of know. If you're a parent, you'll know. But if you're not a parent, if you have some kids between the ages of like 0 and 4, in my opinion, so far has been the best years. Everything is fun. Everything is an adventure. Yeah, it's one of the most fun ages. So we had a blast. You can also develop a work-specific LLM which doesn't require a necessary whole set of information. That makes sense. Gunheist. Ah, yes. May the coffee be with you. May the coffee be with you, sir. May your coffee be strong and bold. You're really asking, is AI coding a justified business/market in itself? I think it is. The training cost of creating the model is very expensive, and to run models, it's not really possible on most PCs, and running it in the cloud, it's expensive enough. You'd have to share an instance with other people. So I think business-wise, it's justifiable to be its own thing. So I'm not saying, so I guess I don't mean to question, I do not mean to question the viability of the AI for coding. What am I trying to say? I don't mean to question the viability of selling tokens to coders as a way of making money. What I'm saying is that what we're being told is that these coding agents or these coding products are these killer things that can basically replace software engineers, right? So what I'm saying is if you really had a tool, if you really had the greatest programmer ever, right? Which is what a lot of people are claiming. These LLMs, like Opus 4.6, people are saying like this is the singularity, this is the inflection point, right? If you really had that, why turn this into the product? Why is this the product? Why wouldn't you just go and rebuild something like, go set up your harness and let it run for and recreate Salesforce, right? And why wouldn't this be your product? Because theoretically now you can take Salesforce, you can take your Salesforce clone, go into the market and undercut everything that's going on in Salesforce, because you have far less invested into the development and production and maintenance of your Salesforce clone than the actual Salesforce company does.
Did we just become best friends?
Why wouldn't you just replicate that over and over? Aaron, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate that. Why wouldn't you just replicate that over and over? Soon AI will be fighting AI. I always mistake your microphone with BB-8 droid. It does kind of look like a BB-8 droid. It is not important. I don't know you're talking about, Hackerline, but good to see you. I think AI does change the viability equation. Companies frequently do, but it'll still make sense to buy companies that do the thing rather than build it yourself. Yeah, I don't understand, but that to me, what I'm saying is, this should be it. Why isn't this Anthropic in OpenAI's model? All these companies, Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, or Google in this case, they're all starved for revenue. So why don't they take this omnipotent being that supposedly they're building in these large language models, and why don't they just use it to build products that can eat and consume the SaaS market space? That's why I don't. So that's why I don't buy that this is actually true. I don't buy that. I think the products they're selling are just good enough to pass the bar for coders and programmers to use it, and that's what they're focused on selling. They're not actually focused on selling something that can actually replace engineers. They're just focused on selling a product to engineers. That's why I think a lot of this hype that you see in the marketplace is like largely overblown. Act as an agency, essentially. There's not a ton of money in agencies, is there? No, not act as an agency. I mean act as a product company. So you no longer are gonna sell tokens on a meter. You're gonna use all the tokens to produce your own shit at lower costs and at quicker speeds than all the other companies are, because you have this secret tool of AI. Like that's why I don't understand why sell this when you could sell products. I produce I produce my own shit every day. I agree. The strength or goodness of AI is not very high. It's maybe a mid-level dev at best. Yeah, exactly. So Dota, if you believe that, then I think me and you are on the same page, because I agree. I believe the same thing, and that's why they can't actually execute on this vision. But it's super annoying annoying as somebody who's been involved in software development to hear the claims that companies and people are making about what the models are capable of and what these harnesses are capable of. It's that's why I find it frustrating. The code isn't the only thing that makes a company run, though. I don't know what it would be as a percentage, but not very high, I think. Yeah, but okay, so I agree. It's less annoying than when it actually came out. I couldn't even go to the dev meetups on AI at the time. Yeah, I don't know. I personally feel like it's gotten worse, but that's just, I mean, to each his own on that side of things. But the code thing, yes, I agree with you. The code thing that makes a company run isn't the only thing that makes a company run. But a lot of businesses are built on the model that you share back end functions, right? So a lot of PE companies do this. PE companies, private equity, they buy up multiple companies. They consolidate their back office work, like accounting, anything that's like SG&A, administrative, anything like that, are shared functions for multiple businesses. And then the core pieces of those businesses continue to operate. But like for a software company, why, if especially if you, because the thing that's been the hardest to do for software is to actually build the software, right? And it's been the most expensive piece of software development. So if we're saying now we have something that drives that aspect of the business to near zero, which again, I don't believe that that's the truth. I'm just saying, if we believe what they're saying, right? Why wouldn't you build a business that looks like this, where you have OpenAI? Oops. Why wouldn't you build a business that's structured or looks like this? Let's say you have OpenAI. Oh my goodness, Steven. Figure your shit out. I want to make this bigger. Dude, I cannot make this bigger. I don't know how to do it. There we go. Okay. So let's say you're OpenAI. You have God tier programmers because you have metered intelligence. So why wouldn't you build a business that makes all these individual products? Let's say this is CRM. Let's say it's ERP. Let's say you've got some sort of communication tool or services. Let's say you've got like messaging. You got a office suite in there. Let's say you got like an office suite. Messaging, right? You could build all these different product categories that are huge in the enterprise space, right? Companies spend thousands of dollars, millions of dollars a year on these types of services. And then you can just share your back office services across all of this, right? So this would be shared functions, right? So you all these things share accounting. They share, shared, I don't know what you want to call this. Shared expenses. So I understand what you're saying, that there's other things that go into a business beyond just producing a messaging app or producing an office suite or producing an ERP system or a CRM system. But if you have just unlimited amounts of intelligence and coders, right? Why can't you just use all the same coders to build this stuff? I don't like my diagram. And the whole reason I'm saying this is because I don't believe that they actually have built a tool that's capable of actually replacing the entire software engineering lifecycle. They want you to believe they have. That's the claim they're trying to make. That's what the products they're trying to sell to companies, but they don't. It doesn't really hold up, in my opinion. There we go. That's what I'm trying to communicate. And then forget selling tokens. Just use the tokens to build these businesses. That's like AMD states that AGIs already exist. Well, what didn't Dario say something about Dario AI sentient? Didn't he say something like that? Oh goodness. An AI ad.
What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys, Nina just built an app.
Anthropic Firestorm.
It's about the principle of standing up for what's right.
What's wrong, in his view, is why his AI.
No, this isn't what I was looking for. I'm looking for where he said we don't know if models are. He said something like we don't know if models are sentient. Yeah, here we go. We don't know if models are conscious. What do you mean you don't know if models are conscious? Models aren't conscious. Stop saying these things. Coders already scale in an insane manner, though. Companies of 1,000 people will have 10 coders that build the entire product. So I haven't seen that myself. I've not seen a company with 1,000 people and only 10 people are working on the product, but yeah, it made me think games are kind of one-off launches. If the product needed a quality aspect, had to maintain customers, that really changes things. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just of the belief that I don't think the thing that these companies are selling is as good as they claim it is. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm saying it's not as good as they are claiming it is. And that is supported by the fact that if it really was as good, like if somebody really had a AGI, why the fuck would they sell it to you? Right? That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like if the thing did what they're claiming it did, I guarantee they would not be selling you that shovel. They would just use the shovel to go and do the thing that makes the most money. That's more of my position on the matter. Like a Procter and Gamble of software is really what you're saying, which doesn't exist. Yeah, totally. A Procter and Gamble of software. Like why not do that though? If producing if the cost of producing software has gone to zero, or the marginal cost of software has gone to zero, because now you have these AI tools, why wouldn't you do that? In commercials for a minute. Damn commercials. They got you again. Good morning, Ulas. How can if statement be conscious? I don't know. Dario doesn't know. Dario doesn't know. Maybe the models are conscious. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe we already have AGI. You know? Who knows? All right, that's my crash out. That's my crash out on AI for today. Let me clean up my windows here a little bit. All right. So I don't know what we're going to do today. So we hacked on the Discord bot for a couple days. The physical OS experiment is still running. I have some other code I need to write, but it's not particularly thrilling stuff. But I do need to write it. Excuse me. I also need to add an SSH key for this machine. Let's go new. Palm Beach Pete is AGI. I do think it's more possible than ever. See, P&G producing soap versus laundry detergent is probably the same number of employees to produce video game 1 and then video game 2. You need way more support employees to produce the second product beyond just the coding aspect. So, I hear what you're saying, Dota, about games. I'm skeptical, or I'm skeptical. I don't know as much about how the game business works. I've never worked in that industry or been a part of a team that built a game. But I'm skeptical that necessarily the same thing holds true for a SaaS company, especially when you look at a company, let's say like you look at a company like 37 Signals, who has kind of taken this approach where they have the parent company of 37 Signals, but that produces a ton of individual products in particular verticals. Obviously, they have some products that are more successful than others, but across all those products, there's only a small group of employees. I think they have like 70 employees, 60 employees that support all their different verticals or all their different products. So I guess I just don't think that I don't think that they're not executing on this strategy because it's impossible. I don't think that they're not executing on the strategy because it's still too hard. I think they're not executing on the strategy because AI coding agents don't actually drive the marginal cost of building software to zero, as people are trying to even though they're trying to push that narrative, it doesn't really do that. It doesn't really replace software engineers, and it's not really able to replace the work that's involved in building and producing and deploying and maintaining software. As much as they want to paint that picture, it just doesn't do that. The way to make it more possible is if AI agents can make customer service type jobs cheaper. Yeah, I just don't see. I guess Dota, me and you just from a business perspective, we have a different view on what the limiting factor in these businesses are. I don't think customer service support roles are the limiting factor in being able to build a SaaS product or a set of SaaS products. If you can all of a sudden produce 3, 4, 5, 10 products with the same number of support staff, you can make the PG of software. So I don't think that just because you're making 3, 4, or 5 products, you suddenly need. I don't think the size of the support staff scales with the number of products you're creating. I don't think that's been the case, but maybe I'm wrong. Good morning, Suhas. I'm working on a memory system. What are your criticisms of current AI memory systems? I have none. I have very little thoughts on AI other than AI is a weird mix of awesome capability and grifting. But yeah, no criticisms to share with you. There's a revenue / per person metric. The more people you need, the higher a bar of revenue needed to support that product to break even. That metric is typically used to figure out headcount. So I've seen SaaS companies use a revenue to person metric to help them measure their business. But I'm just so skeptical. I don't understand it. I still go back to my original statement of, if somebody actually had a shovel that was that good, they wouldn't sell it to you. They would just use it themselves. That's my proposition. I'm not saying their shovels aren't good. I'm just saying they're not that good. Whoops. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Thabison? I'm not sure if that's how you say your name, but good morning. Good to see you. What up, party people? Long time no see. How are we doing today? Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good. I was laying out my thesis about the state of AI. Let's see, this is going to be... Okay. We added that. Sorry, I'm setting up a SSH key for my... I set up a Git server, and so I need to set up an SSH key for this machine to talk to that server. Alright, let's see. We're going to add a new... Let's see, host is going to be that. User is Git. Port is this. And the identity file. All right, I think I set all that up correctly. Famous last words. Let's see, 10 devs versus 100x versus 10 DAX times 100,000 versus 100 support staff at 50K. Most of your costs are in the latter. I guess you're saying the scaling isn't the issue. AI really changes the equation for product development, though. Instead of needing 10 devs to work on it, maybe you get by with 2 to 3. And if there are no customers, there's no need for as much support staff. Yeah, I guess I'm just saying that if the products these companies are selling, so most of the, and I could be completely wrong about this, but my perception is most of the cost involved in creating a SaaS has far much to do with the production of the thing you're selling than the actual maintenance, support, and selling of the thing you're producing. I guess that's my perception. I don't know if that's actually factually true. So that's why I'm saying if and I'm saying that because if that wasn't the case, if sales, marketing, and support were eating into your ability to make and produce software, why wouldn't these companies then go and sell products that replace those particular professions? Why are they focused so heavily on replacing software professionals? Seems like then there should be a bigger market to replace the support people and the sales people and the whatever other part that you're saying is involved in that. Are you using Agent AI? Programmer Malam, I'm not. So if you're looking for somebody who's using AI to code a lot, this is probably not a good stream for you, unfortunately. Most of a company's costs are salaries, not infrastructure. So I believe, right? I mean, the marginal cost of selling another seat in your SaaS product is near zero. So yeah, you're just covering overhead. I understand this, and I believe this. Let's see. Initially, yeah, at least it used to be that way. Code used to be the expensive to produce. Now it's a lot cheaper. This just shifts the dynamic of where the software engineering happens in the development process. Let's see. I written a post on simplicity, SaaS pragmatism. I'm interested in your take. I don't know if there's somewhere I can submit it. Yeah, for sure. I'd be happy to read your post. If you just go to Discord and drop a link in our Discord. Let's see. At Thobasin at let's see. Discord. I think that should give the link. There you go. Yeah, you can drop it in the Discord. You can just jump into the Discord to post a link and then leave if you don't want to hang out there. Let's see. The majority of your variable cost is salaries as well. I guess that's where we disagree with the SaaS company. Well, I guess my disagreement is more if you have a back office that's already built out to support one SaaS product, and you have an unlimited amount of intelligence that can help you build additional products, why wouldn't you just use the existing support staff, the existing back office functions that you have to support multiple SaaS products? Because you no longer have to worry about the maintenance and development of the SaaS products, because now apparently you have, again, I'm talking as if I believe that AI has really replaced the need for a software development team. I don't really believe that, but I'm saying if that's what the companies are trying to convince us of and that's what they're selling, why wouldn't they themselves just leverage that tool to build big ass businesses that sell software that replaces that basically takes over existing verticals in markets? That's my that's the hypothesis I'm trying to support, refuse. I'm basically saying if you have a tool that makes it infinitely easy to produce products, software products, and maintain them and scale them, why would you not use that tool to do it for yourself? Why sell it to other people so that they can do it? That's the thing I'm trying to say. It's the buy my course bro mentality. Yeah, it kind of. I know that's what it kind of feels like. That's what. Yes, that's to me, Justin. That's how it feels to me. It's 100% that. It's like I see this in personal training. I saw this a lot in personal training where you would have people who were gym owners realize that they could make more money selling their 100-point system to build a $100 million business to other people who aspire to be gym owners or business owners. And the truth of the matter is that if somebody really has a foolproof system for making money, why are they trying to sell it to you? Why wouldn't they just go use it themselves to make the money, right? That's where there's something off there. There's something off about this story. Assuming AI pans out and 2 devs equals 10 devs now, which I don't believe is true either. Yes, exactly. So I think that's where, like, if I'm trying to take everybody's big claims about AI, and I just take them on face value, and I say, okay, great, we've replaced software engineering. Software engineering really is dead. If that really is true, then I'm trying to understand why all these other things aren't happening or haven't happened. And if we can't explain it, then that kind of means that first statement or those first claims are in fact false. Yeah, the marketer that sells marketing courses rather than actually selling a product. Exactly. So that goes back to where it's like, if you really had this kick-ass shovel that was really as good as you say it is, like, for example, if a company really did invent AGI, why would they ever sell it to you? There is no benefit to them for them to sell AGI to you. They should just use AGI to take over everything. Let's see, I agree, but I also just really like being able to use AI dev tools. But in my opinion, I think it's going to end up like you said before. There's going to be two genres that form artisan code and AI assisted code. Yeah, and there seems to be a split here already happening within the programmer developer community around this. Delusional dev, you trying out 99 today? We could try that out. I don't honestly. We can do that. I actually have a code base we could use to try it. Although, I don't know if I have the necessary, I don't know if I have the necessary stuff to try it. But we could try it. Let's see, 99. The Primogen 99. And then the former is for like mission critical systems. The latter exists as a lower dev environment or less critical user facing systems. I can see this. I can see this 100%. All right, what do we need to set this up? $99 providers. I don't have Claude Code and I don't have Open Code either. Let's see. Sets up 99 must be called for this library work. Search performs a search. Let's see, they have a Gemini CLI provider. I could use that. Yeah, we can, I mean, we can try this out. Let me get the repo that I was going to work on cloned. Let's see, repositories. Need to get the thing from the thing. We need to get the thing from the thing and put it on the thing. Let's see, where do I go? Let's see if this works. Get clone. Hey, it worked. Cool. All right, and then we need to set up 99. So do I have Gemini installed on this machine? Okay, so we got to install that. So let's install the Gemini CLI. I'm unconvinced. Hold on. Let me back up here. That said, you are talking like there aren't competent vibe coders out there. I don't mean to. If I am talking like that, I don't mean to say that, Dota. That are doing 89% of their development with AI, which is happening now. Not sure how effective they are, but I know people are doing that. So I do believe that's happening. So I don't want to, and I also don't want anyone to think that I don't think that there's engineers who can be very productive with AI, because I've watched people be very productive with AI. So I don't want people to think that. I just don't necessarily think that like the current state of AI versus what the claims are coming from the companies line up. I guess that's to me where the disconnect is. Hello, NG Tontai. OpenCode has some CVEs, lol, but pretty cool to use. Sucks it doesn't have LMS integration. What's LMS? I'm unconvinced so far that 5 agents running 8 hours a night is smart/works. However, so this is what I'm unconvinced about, right? This is the claim that this is what I see people starting to claim. Like, we can let Claude Code or Codex, we can just let them run for 7 days and build us a complete SAAS tool. This I'm skeptical about. There are effective vibe coders, but the issue is AI is an exacerbator. Well, hold on, is that a word? LMS is LM Studio. Oh, interesting. I've never used LM Studio. I've heard about it, but I've never used it. Yeah, I've only used Olama. It highlights people's good and bad traits and add an insanely fast pace. 100% believe this. Yep. 100% believe that. All right, we got to install this. And then I think we have to log in, don't we? And we also need to, let's CD into NeoVim. No, it's like go to, yeah, invim config. Get status. I actually don't know what all those changes are, but I'm just going to commit them. Feature. I honestly don't remember what I changed. I did disable Copilot though. Okay, and then I actually want to add, well, I'll do that later. No, I don't want to do that later. I want to do that right now. So let's do git add what the hell? Why did that open in VS Code? Yeah, git add remote. There we go. So let's do how do I see a list of branches? Git list remote branches. Git branch, no. Remote repos. Just git remote. Okay, and then how do I remove one of those? Git remote remove origin. Git remote. Okay, there we go. And then let's do git checkout Stephen Freeborn feature. Try using the Primeagen 99 plugin. Nice. Sorry, I fell behind again. For the record, I'm a bad developer. I bet you're better than I am. I was a huge AI skeptic until around the start of this year. I definitely agree the hype is way overblown, especially from the AI CEOs, etc. Yeah, Thobus, and that to me is what makes it makes it very hard to talk about AI, because right now there's kind of these two camps. Like everybody wants to put everybody into these two camps of like, you're either pro AI or you're anti AI, and it's difficult to talk about it without people kind of shoving you on one side of the argument or the other. And I'm not really trying to exist in either of those worlds. I'm basically just trying to say, like, there is some good with AI, and but there's also some bad with AI, and it seems like there's not a lot of space right now in the world to hold those things at the same time. Part of that, I think, is just because there's a lot of money on the table right now, and so any criticism or any shortcomings that people want to point out about AI is viewed as like hostile, because it is to some people there is a kind of an existential threat if AI doesn't actually make money and isn't successful. But yeah, I totally see what you're saying. Committing I don't know is cathartic as fuck, to be honest. But the code quality the recent models are outputting is actually good, and if you are experienced, you can make actual good things way faster than before. Yes, this is I totally believe this. This does Thobison, this does run up against another issue though that exists with AI. I still want to try 5 agents running autonomously thing because my opinion isn't an informed one currently. Yes, I should probably also give that a shot. I don't think I can afford it though, honestly, Dota. I don't think I can afford running 5 agents concurrently for a long period of time. I'm the guy who likes strawberry ice cream, but when told about strawberry and rhubarb ice cream says, I don't think that'll work without trying it. Of course, I still have to steer it all the time. It goes off the rails, yada yada. But in general, we are a way different place than we were at the start of 2025. For sure, you are pushed into a camp when you do. I think there's a huge middle ground of silent people. Yes, this I think there's a there's a bunch of engineers who exist in the middle who are just like they've got their head down, they're doing good work, they're making good money, and they're gonna let everybody else fuss over AI. Yeah, the two camps are really divided. It really is. It really is a divided world. Humans are just tribal. We like to make everything tribal. I want to come back to what Thobison said for a second, though, about um, the code quality the recent models are outputting is actually good. And if you are experienced, you can make some actual good things way faster than before. This still comes back to I don't know what the answer is, but there is a fundamental, if that is the case, right? So again, let's just say for argument's sake, that is true, and I believe it's true. So let's just say for this argument's sake, if you know what you're doing, you can get really good results from the models, right? And we can focus on software engineering, but I think that also holds true for other professions. You have this, okay, so how do I represent this in a way, right? So you have, let's say you have a senior software engineer, right? I need to come up with a different shape to use besides a box. And then you have AI, right? You have AI. Don't make fun of my diagrams, okay? So senior software engineer plus AI. This right here is what we're saying is, okay, good stuff can happen, which I believe. The problem I see with this is then where do you get, I know where this guy comes from. Whoops. I know where this fella comes from, right? I know where AI comes from. I know how they make it. I know how we can get more of it. Great. Where do these guys come from? Where do you get these folks? And then, unfortunately, I think AI reduces the number of senior software engineers. So it's kind of weird. It's like as usage of AI increases, the supply of senior software engineers, I feel like, decreases. But you need both together to get the optimal output. So that's a problem I don't know how to fix. I guess the bet there is that this becomes good enough that in 5 years, this looks like, instead of senior software engineer, this just looks like business person, I guess. Right? Is what you're saying. Because if we're not going to develop more senior software engineers, then you're saying, well, I guess AI is going to be good enough to where anybody can tell the AI how to build what you need to build, I guess. I don't know. It seems like a problem. The single write or write once code is way cheaper now. Let's see. Yep, the junior problem is real. I do believe that our increased output with AI will actually just increase demand. This is the age range changing in development, and they kind of stopped hiring juniors due to a variety of reasons. The fact the dev market is contracting right now, the juniors would get hit hardest anyways from that. I think that's an org thing, though. They have to recognize they need to build up people. But okay, so Justin, I agree with this, and I actually made a video about a paper. I made a video about a paper from Scott Hanselman, and what was it called? It was something like Mark Rusanovich It's on my YouTube channel. I made a video about this. Like, people are talking about solving this problem, where basically, Justin, to your point, is like organizations need to invest in programs or processes that develop folk. The problem with that is you're basically saying, where is it? Here we go. The problem with this is you're basically saying then companies need to pick up the cost of development of individuals, not of software, of individuals. This is a good paper if you guys want to read about. This is a paper that talks about using preceptorship as an answer to this problem. The question though is like, now how do you convince organizations that they should invest the time and effort it takes to do this? And I think that's a hard sell. I think it's a hard sell for business people. It's like, oh, well, actually, you should hire somebody just so that we can take them and turn them into a junior. I think it's far more likely that organizations are going to externalize that. They're going to say, we only hire seniors. Somebody else needs to figure out how to produce the seniors. So I don't know. I think it's a really weird, interesting problem that I'm excited to see how it turns out. Good companies do that always. Yeah, I mean, some companies do, but I don't know. I see companies just looking at that as like a cost that they don't want to accept. Like, AI can't be blamed because orgs refuse to train people. Yes, you can't. I guess you can't necessarily blame AI because of that. Although it is AI's fault that that problem now exists. But large orgs have hired mostly senior devs for quite a while. Junior devs tend to get their start in startups and whatnot. That market probably won't change that much, except they may not have to hire as many juniors. Interesting. I think there's a lot of places with proprietary specialized information that there's just always a big learning curve. See you, Thompson. Senior software engineer plus BA plus AI equals money. What's a BA? What's BA? Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe that this is ever going to be. I don't think this is ever going to be a reality. I don't think this is going to become a reality. Yeah, I don't think this becomes a reality anytime soon. I think what's far more likely is this becomes this right here is where we end up being as an industry. And then the challenge we're going to be faced is how to get more of these guys. I think that's ultimately going to be the challenge, is how do you figure out how to create people who know what they're doing, right? It's almost like I think a good analog for this problem is like what has happened in why am I blanking? I don't know the term for it. Airlines. What has happened with like the people that fly planes? I don't even know what you call that industry. The people who fly planes, where like most of flying is done on autopilot, but you still need well-trained human pilots, right, in the cockpit. I think that's probably a better analog for the type of place we end up in, where you're gonna need, I don't know if you need like schools or programs or yeah, I guess programs, basically like pipelines, right? Yeah, perfect analogy. Yeah, I think that's where it's most at least in the interim, like in the next 10 years or 15 years, you're probably more likely to end up in that place than you no longer have a need for senior software engineers. Like I don't think we're going to be there anytime soon, but I'm happy to be proven wrong. It's all very interesting to me. I like watching it all unfold. Let's see. And then there's jobs created to maintain those automated systems, air traffic controllers, field techs, etc. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then everything just evolves alongside it. Steven, you missed my... Hold on, okay. Sorry. Bachelor of Arts. Oh, yeah. Business Analyst. Oh, yeah, maybe that's what it was. Coloring book lover. Yeah, I'm guessing BA was Business Analyst. Yeah, the senior dev funnel is deteriorating now. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Yeah, somebody's going to have to solve the senior dev problem. Yeah, I don't know who it'll be. Good morning, King Brownie. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right, is Gemini here with us? Is Gemini in the room now? Let's see. Oh man, this thing's slow. Why is it so slow? Okay, where's 99? Okay. So how do I do this? Basic setup. So let's open up NeoVim. Why is everything being so slow? GitHub themes. We need to uninstall that. We need to reinstall it. We need to exit this and go here. We need to then add a new plugin. I'm just going to add this as a separate file for now. 99. I have to return it. Okay, provider. So this is where we want to use dot. What was all the providers? There was a Gemini one. Gemini. There we go. And setting this, I don't know what any of this does. I'm not going to read all these all these comments. I'm just going to trust that this works. We do have some formatting issues though, don't we? So that's the function. Did I not copy it all? Thought I copied it all. There we go. Now it's formatting. Okay, then we need to close NeoVim and reopen it, but we need to make sure we're logged into Gemini CLI. Okay, Gemini's here now. So now we need to auth with it. How do we do that? Gemini, like login maybe? Maybe we just fire it up. Gemini. See what happens. Here, I assumed the Primogen would be against the use of comments. He's got a lot of comments in that setup. I bet he does that because he knows people probably need some level of explanation. You know? Maybe he used AI to generate the comments. Yeah, that's fine. That's where we're gonna use it. Am I already logged in? Are you there? I guess I'm already. How am I already logged in? Sign in or change the authentication method. Sign in. Sign in with Google. I must already be signed in. Okay. Interesting. Successfully press Shift R to restart. Okay. So I have it. I know I have that successfully authenticated. So now if I open up NeoVim, I'm assuming we're going to install 99. And let's go ahead and check out. Before we do that, let's get branch. Get branch R. Get rename. Get remote rename origin to get T. I guess get checkout Stephen Freeborn. Feature add fields endpoint. Okay, so what this repository is, just for context, this repository, because I learned Go at the end of last year. Hold on, let me explain this. So my company, the company I work for, has a public API. This public API currently has an official SDK. They have an official C# SDK. And over the course of the last 3 years, in my free time, I've been building community SDKs in other languages. So when I learned JavaScript, I built an SDK in JavaScript for it. When I learned Python, I built an SDK in Python for it. And so I thought, well, since I learned Go, let's build an SDK in Go for it, just as a way to practice Go and also to help out the community of people that use my company's software, who I obviously appreciate a whole heck of a lot because they help me have a job, right? So that's what this repo is. It's essentially me implementing an SDK for that API, and so that's what I was going to work on a little bit today. And I guess since we've introduced 99 into the equation, we can also use 99 to help us do some of it, or try to get it to do some of it. So the first thing we need to do is let's create a file called fields.go, and we'll create another one called fields.test.go, and let's go here. Let's copy that guy. Let's put you here, and let's change you to the fields endpoint. Yep, and then we'll do fields endpoint like that. Oh, yeah. Man, I really do enjoy writing Go. I think Go is a good language. And then we're going to have package on Spring tests. What else do we need? I think that's it. Let's go ahead and stub this out. So we'll say function, test, fields. And that will accept a t of testing.t, I think. Yep, and then t dot run. Let's do the first endpoint we need to implement is to retrieve a, let's just do retrieving a field. So we'll do function t dot run. This will be get, and then this takes a function. Let's call back. And then we will just copy the first test from here, and we'll say we should return nil if you don't give me a context. Yeah. That's okay. So how should we try to use 99 to do this? Let's stub out the method. And this should be fields endpoint, and this should be a field. And let's do type field struct like this. Let's just return a new field and nil for now, so everyone's happy. Okay. Now let's see if we can't give a little bit of context. Let's put this in a comment here. This is what a field looks like when returned by the API. Okay, so then how do I trigger 99 to work? Guessing there's some way to do that. Let's see, what are the key maps? If you make a request you don't want to make any changes, just cancel it. Likely, so 9v or 9s. Okay, 9v. So 9v. Oh, sorry. Leader 9v. Okay. I like it. I like it. That's cool. It works. Okay, now let's give it a prompt. Please. Oops. Please implement the get function that I have stubbed out for you. You should be able to also write tests for your implementation in at. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, so he's got at support. Nice. That's cool. Fields test.go. Oh, I can't. Oh, that's interesting. I would think I could just do enter to get that to autocomplete, but I guess I can't. Fields underscore test.go. Make it right. Make it without any mistakes. Do not fail me. All right, so how do I submit it? All All right, let's see what happens. Leader 9, I think. Yeah, Leader 9V is the key map in his default setup.
Did we just become best friends?
Savvy Genius, thanks for the follow, man. So theoretically, the reason why he likes this, right? So theoretically, I think I can move on to another file, right? So if I wanted to go and do something with like air.go, that thing will continue working in the background, which is pretty cool. And then he has something with, oh, so somebody subscribed and I don't think I said thank you. Sorry, I got excited with the fact that the 99 plugin works. Somebody did. Savvy Genius, was that you, I think? Yeah, Savvy Genius, maybe. Thank you for the follow. I think you could have just selected the function itself and continued working below the function. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. I thought maybe it would help it to figure out what it needed to do if I gave it the whole context. But maybe that wasn't a good idea. It sure is taking a long time, isn't it? I mean, it is successfully talking to Gemini, though. I'm adding bytes. I'll update the new request function to handle. I'll update the get. I don't know what it's doing. It seems like it's doing a lot of work. I mean, it should really, honestly, if it's really smart, it should be able just to look at apps.go, and it should be able to look at the get implementation here. And it basically just needs to do the same exact code that's right here. It just needs to do it in the other file. The only thing it'll have to add is it'll have to add a path. And it will have to stub out the structs. There we go. Yep. It'll just need to stub out this part. Oh, it's doing way more than I asked. It's doing everything. It implemented all the methods. That's so funny. It's pretty wild, though, isn't it? I mean, the fact that it can generate that much code in that amount of time is just wild. I think it can grab the oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe undo it and just try selecting the function. Oh no, I'm okay. I'm okay with it doing it. I mean, it basically did the right thing. The only thing it doesn't know about is it doesn't know that this is a polymorphic object. So this type field, there are other types of fields that have other properties. So we have to figure out how to represent that in our Go code. Did it finish? I think it finished. Well, looky there. That's pretty nifty. Let's see, it even implemented the iterator function for me. That is so kind. Did it change anything? Oh, what is this temp file? Oh, this is the prompt it uses. Interesting. It's kind of cool. Let's see. You receive a selection in NeoVim that you need to replace with new code. The selection's contents may contain notes. Incorporate the notes every time if there are some. Consider the context of the selection and what you are supposed to be selecting. There's my prompt. Let's see, fields that go, cool. Location, cool. Let's see, never alter any file other than the temp file. Never provide the requested changes as conversational output, return only the code. Only provide requested changes by writing the change to the temp file. Never attempt to read the temp file. It is purely for output. Previous contents, which may not exist, can be written over without worry. Must obey. Dude, I love the XML tags are just hilarious. That the models like using XMLs for delimiters and prompts. I think Anthropic was the one who started that, honestly, because I remember in Anthropic's documentation at one point they actually called that out. Like, we recommend using XML like tags in prompts. Okay, interesting. So I am curious, just looking at the plugin, how does it do stuff? This is prompt out Lua. Read MD files. No. I'm curious how it collects the context. Agent self agent.context. That's what I'm curious about. I'm curious how it how it so is it it has its own LSP. That's pretty cool. I've never implemented an LSP. Is it hard? Has anybody ever implemented a language server? Is it hard? I always say LSP. What I mean is a language server, not implement your own protocol, but implement your own language server. Okay, I'm gonna see if Copilot can help me with this real quick, because I'd like to understand how it works. Some models are better with XML. Oh no, I just lost connection. Damn it. I think I'm still alive on YouTube. I'm back on Twitch. Sorry guys, my internet disconnected. Let's see. Can you give me an ASCII diagram of how this plugin works? I'm just gonna tell you. Well, that's pretty cool. I like it so far. I think it's a nifty little plugin. I think I like it better than Copilot because I like the fact that it's not omnipresent. Right? I can basically strategically decide. Okay, let's give it a more complex challenge, right? So let's tell it. Let's see. This is what a list field can look like. Maybe we'll use something simpler. Let's try a formula field. Okay, let's Swagger formula field model. I want to see if it can come up with a way to deal with the polymorphism. So let's see. Leader, what was it? Leader 9B. There you go. This data type is polymorphic in nature, meaning the current struct represents properties that are shared by all fields. However, there are other field types that have additional properties. We need to support deserializing these other properties. And so that users of this library can use type assertion to access those properties which are specific to those other field types. For example, this is you can't see this is the structure of a formula field type. How would... I don't like that I can't see my... There we go. Need to update implementation to handle this. Just start with dealing with this type, but keep in mind there are others. So implementation needs to allow for extensibility. All right, let's see what happens. And there was me thinking it was my internet connection. It was not you, Busy Slim. It was me. I would say if you know JSON and have a good parser, LSP isn't hard. If you don't, and I, of course, wasn't in this position, you'll tear your hair out. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I've never worked with the language server protocol. It looks complicated. Kale, what language is this? This is Go. Yeah, this is Go. Favorite child. Oh, true. I don't know any Golang. Yeah, Golang's. I'm fairly new to Golang. I learned it late last year, so I'm very new to it. But I do enjoy it. I agree with Thompson. It is very good. Seeing Steven gives me hope that vibe coding won't become the norm. I think vibe coding is going to become more and more the norm. I think far more people are going to happily give up their skills and competency to AI for the speed and the dopamine kick that they get from using AI, unfortunately. Because like right now, I think this is really cool. I think the 99 plugin is really nice. I can see this saving you tons of time. But right now, I'm pretty bored with this whole interaction. And I feel wholly uninterested in it at the moment. But I do think it's cool that it can do all this stuff. But I think for most people, they love it. They love the fact that like they can just outsource all their thinking and concern to a model, right? Especially for people that don't like. I'm realizing that there's a lot of people who work in technology who either don't like technology or they don't like programming, they don't like coding. I'm realizing there's a lot of folks actually who exist in this space who feel that way. So I think more and more it's going to become the norm. It doesn't look like it did anything. Doesn't look like it did anything. It also looks like it might have created some errors or something. So what happened? It didn't. I think it died or something. So this was the prompt it used. But I'm not sure. It's like it just died out. I'm not really sure what happened. Client.fields undefined. Oh, well, I guess it missed that, didn't it? It needs to add that to the on-screen client. Huh. I wonder what happened. I don't know if there's a place where I can go and see the logs, maybe? Oh no, it did add it. So why is it saying it doesn't exist? Oh, it does exist. Huh. I don't know why it was saying it didn't exist. It's weird. Well, my prompt didn't work, so I don't know how to I guess you just have to re-prompt it? Not really sure. Maybe there's something in the docs. If I can find the docs. Do you use WSL? I don't really use WSL. I use it to support Docker desktop, but as far as like actually working on the Linux file system side, I don't really use it much. I have a couple Linux servers that if I usually want to do something Linux-y for some reason, I need to test something or experiment with something, I'll usually just SSH into one of those and use that. Yo, Steven, I'm making a Python to assembly to C converter. It will also convert to Rust. That's pretty cool. I bet there's a bunch of people who write Python who would think that's pretty cool. I don't really write much Python though, so I don't think I'd be a good user. Cape, have you dabbled into graphics programming? No, I haven't. But it's funny you bring that up. One of the people I like to watch stream is a graphics programmer. I don't really understand most of what he's writing or doing, but he's very entertaining to watch do it. His name's what is his name? Let me see if I can find it. He lives out like in the middle of nowhere. And he has like this like really crazy hair, and he's always like smoking while he's coding. It's what is his name? Fuck. Whenever I find people I enjoy watching, I like to share them. God, what is his name? For some reason, I want to say Tokyo something, but I don't know why I want to say that. Give me one sec. Let me see if I can go to my history and pull them up. Yeah, Tokyo Spliff. That's it. So I was thinking of the right guy. Tokyo Spliff. Yeah, I don't know if you guys. So I haven't ever done anything with graphics programming, but I don't know if you guys have watched this guy's stream. It is so original. Like the style of the stream, the content. Like there's nothing. I haven't seen anything else like it in the programming coding space. Where's one of? So you should, if you catch him live, you should sit in and watch. He streams for like hours on end. I think he does it once a week, or tries to do it once a week.
If you are pressing ADS, it checks if you can.
Yeah, it's just like he always starts the stream by like lighting up a cigarette.
Did you know you can AFK
yeah, I love the. he doesn't look like somebody who would be a graphics programmer, and he doesn't act like someone who'd be a graphics programmer. And I love the juxtaposition of those things. So if you get a chance, go and check out his channel. I think he's pretty cool. Let me share it
Did we
here.
just become best friends?
Ralph, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Tokyo Spliff. Go watch this guy write code. Let's see. Let me back up. I kind of fell behind. I'm sorry. We didn't touch C. Went from Python to C++. I guess they want me to run with OOD, OOP. Oh, object-oriented? Yeah. Let's see, Thobuson. Looks like you're on Windows. Is there a specific reason why? Is it for streaming, or do you have another reason? Just so when I started, so I switched over to Windows about 10 years ago when my son was born. I used to be a MacBook fanboy, but then after becoming a dad, I just couldn't justify spending. I couldn't justify spending the amount of money on the Apple hardware to get the level of capability I wanted from the hardware. And my dollar just seemed to go a lot further on the PC side of the house. Now, granted, this predates Apple Silicon when I made this decision. And so I switched over to Windows, and then I started learning how to code after I switched to Windows. And so I've just kind of stuck with it as an operating system. It is nice, obviously, to be able to stream, to develop and stream on the same computer, but no real, it's not like a declaration that I think Windows is the best OS or anything like that. It's just what I'm comfortable with and what I've been working with. All right, I'm going to try to rerun this prompt one more time. And then, if nothing else, then I'll go back to coding like a caveman. Let me get the prompt. Let's see. I think he stores the original prompt in here somewhere. I thought he did he not put my prompt in here somewhere? I thought he put my prompt in here. No, this is the wrong prompt. It's this one. There we go. All right, let's go back over here. Let's go back over here. Leader 9V. Oh, shoot. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Leader 9V. And submit. See what it does. I wonder if maybe I exceeded the context window or something. Last time it just died. Let's see if it produces any logs. We can ask. Okay, so this is how it works. We have search mode and visual mode. Let's see, create state and tracking system, load completion rules, set up autocomplete, prompt builder, and context manager. Gather user input and visual selection. Read agent MD project hierarchy, collect referenced files. Reference agent rules. Load skill.md files. Find rules, get rule content, completion auto suggestion. Build full AI prompt. Interesting. So how does it how does it, does this plugin produce any logs I can look at when requests fail? Yeah, see, it died again. Huh. That's so weird. In NeoVim log viewer, the easiest way to view logs is directly in NeoVim. The command opens an interactive menu showing you all your previous requests. Select one and displays the full JSON formatted logs for the request. Okay, let's try that. So we'll do, let's see, Lua, use of user-defined command. Okay. Do I have to set up a key map for this then? Let's go to nvim config, neovim. I remember going to a Vercel showcase for their agentic ADI v0. It literally had a button called Fix It that you were supposed to click. Everything there was a bug. What you just did reminded me of that. Oh, really? That's funny. Fix it. Fix it. Make it better. Make it work. Make it fast. Make it secure. Let's see. Let's do, let's set up this, and let's call, did it hallucinate this? I kind of feel like it hallucinated this. Did it hallucinate this? Let's do leader 9L. Like that. And let's come back over here. Let's close this. And then we do leader 9L. No. Good morning, Inspire. Let's go. We editing config file. I'm so into waste my whole day on this. Well, somebody said, "Are you going to try out 99 today?" And we had been talking about it yesterday, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, we can do that." Because I actually have a repo that I need to do a little bit of work in. Actually, I have to do quite a bit of work in it, and so we're using it as our test bed to explore how 99 works. But right now, for whatever reason, I'm trying to prompt 99 and it's failing, and I'm not sure why. So we're trying to see if we can't find some logs. Leader 9L. That just opened this. Leader 9V. Leader 9V. Leader 9X, Leader 9S. Okay, weird. Leader 9. So the V command is gone altogether. Did I screw something up here? I don't know what I did. Try Nix abandon Windows. The Nix OS idea seems interesting to me, but I am not in a mood to switch OSs at the moment, you know? Why isn't my key map working anymore? I feel like I broke it or something. I don't know what I've done. I did something to break it though. Because this key map isn't getting mapped anymore. Oops, that's the wrong place. $99 visual, 99 search, 99 stop all requests. So if I do leader 9, see there only shows up as S and X are key maps, but I have oh, because I'm not in visual mode. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. You have to be in visual mode. That's why. So if I'm in visual mode and I do leader 9 V. Okay, so why when I do view logs, so this is normal mode. So let's go here. We do this. We're gonna do normal mode and we're gonna tie this to L, and then we're gonna set this to view logs, which I don't know if that really exists. Copilot says it exists. I'm not 100% convinced it's not just making shit up. View logs. How many plugins can I install at a time? I have no idea. Hold on. Trust me, you would love it. Seems like a thing tailor-made for you. I'd be down to try it at some point. I'm just so burnt out on switching my setup at the moment. Honestly, I'm enjoying Omarchi a lot. Not having to fix my configs twice a week. Nice. I like to spend hours tuning a base file just to make it look like I am autistic. All right, so that does bring up a menu, but there's nothing in it. So let me rerun the prompt again. Maybe it's because, excuse me, maybe it's because it only shows, excuse me, logs for the current working session or something. So here's the prompt I gave it. Let's copy that. Let's go back here. We'll select this. We'll go leader 9V. Paste that in. Submit. And then if I do leader 9L. Yeah, so it only shows me from the current session, which I think makes sense. Okay, it seems to be working more than it has in the past. Yeah, I think I might leave 99 in. I kind of like it. I like it better than I liked Copilot. I'm definitely not vibe coding because I think while this is working, I'm supposed to not be just waiting for it to finish. I think I'm supposed to go off and do other things. I think I'm supposed to actually spin up like 8 agents at once. I saw a TikTok yesterday of a guy who wired up his agents to a Stream Deck. He had like 12 terminals on his screen, and each one of them was like wired to a button on the Stream Deck that would change colors if like the agent needed input from him or if it needed him to click enter or something. It's wild what people are doing with all this stuff. Not really my cup of tea, but it's interesting to watch other people. Has anyone tried OpenCode? I've been liking it as an assistant. I've not tried OpenCode. No, I have not. But I mean, all the programmers that I follow online say that OpenCode is a better experience than Claude Code. I've vibe coded a bit for my project. Now it works, but it shitted too much in the code, and I gotta clean it. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a place for it, and it just died. So that's the third time it's done that. I don't think this is a 99 problem. I think this is a Gemini CLI thing, but it just died again. So why did it die? Standard error, debug, Gemini CLI provider. Let's see. Error type for consistent error reporting from the API. The code base is well documented and follows idiomatic Go patterns. I'm ready to proceed with any specific tasks or enhancements you have in mind. Client manages authentication. Blah, blah, blah. I can't even read. I can't read this very well. I need to put this in a like viewer or something formatted. So what is happening? Visual replacement aborted. Response was empty. Local agent executor blocked call. Unauthorized tool call. Run shell. Huh. These must be either tools or agents that they expect to be available. Maybe these are open code related things. I'll use the generalist sub it. No. I wonder if it's just because I haven't approved it to do tool calling without my approval. So I don't think this is a 99 problem. This is for whatever reason, the Gemini CLI doesn't seem to be handing it 99 back stuff that it expects. So it just dies. Okay, interesting. So let's see what happens if I do this outside the 99 harness. Don't save. Go ahead, you can update. What happens if I do this, take that same prompt? How do I We'll take that same prompt. And let's just feed it in directly to the CLI. This is not at all what I meant to do today, but we're here. We're in it now. Let's see, open code is pretty good, but I don't like agentic coding, to be honest. It's useful for some stuff because it has all the context, though. Yeah, that's the part that's so that is the part. I'm the same way as you, King Brownie. Like, I'm not terribly into agentic development. Bob, am I late? Did you try that? First of all, good morning, Bob. You're not late. And we are trying 99. That's what we're working on right now. Actually, we used 99 to basically generate all the code that's in this file. Actually, all the code in this file and all the code in this file. It did it. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting tool. I like the experience better than I like Copilot. I will say that. So I'll probably leave it in there and work with it a bit. But what I was getting ready to say is, King Brownie, I'm not a big agentic coder myself, but I will agree it's really nice to be able to talk to an LLM that has all the context of your code base. Super helpful there. Like, I wish Gemini CLI had just an ask mode. I think that would be really nice. I know it has a plan mode, but I don't think it has just an ask mode. But I am going to try to give it the prompt that it keeps choking on through the 99 harness. I'm not sure. I don't know why it's choking on it. I do like that the Primeagen shows you all of the behind the scenes. I like that it persists the prompt that it uses. It persists the state. I do like that. I think that was a nice design choice. Okay. So we are in the right repo. I am going to paste that in, and we're going to send it. Let's see what happens. Let's see, I understand that the field struct needs to be updated. Okay, my plan, examine fields.go, implement the necessary changes. Let's see, what do you want to do? Default. If the type is unknown or doesn't have a specific property, type data remains nil. Okay. That's fine. I messed up the fields test.go replace call. It overwrote a test instead of adding to it. I need to reread the file, then write a replace call that correctly nests both get tests cases inside. The previous replace call broke the get test block. I need to restore. Are we stuck in a loop now? See, they are just like us. He has trauma after messing that up. He does. He's like, oh, oh. I get stuck in agentic loops all the time. Choose through so many tokens. That's why I prefer using as a chatbot. So, King Brownie, it sounds like me and you have had a lot of the same experiences and ended up in a very similar place in terms of like our AI usage. Because I will also say I find myself stuck. Like right now, it seems to be stuck in this. It's trying to add some content to this file, and it can't quite figure out how to do it without causing issues. Right? It just keeps calling read file, read file, read file. See, this is the part of agentic development that to me becomes frustrating and I get bored with, because I'm like, look, I could be writing code right now and actually making progress, but here I am stuck watching this AI try to sort itself out. And if I was trying to help the AI fix this, what I have to stop it, and then I have to go figure out what it did, and then I have to go and correct it all. So what, it's almost like it actually took more time. And somebody out there is going to be like, well, Steven, it's a skill issue. If you had just written the prompt the right way the first time. What the hell did it just do? I have no idea what it's doing. Yeah, you can do that. It looks like it deleted everything. Huh. Gemini can easily achieve AGI. I don't know why the fuck do they keep messing up on purpose. I gave up on this last version of Gemini. Yeah, somebody out there will be like, well, it's because you're not using Claude Code. You need to use open code. You need to use this model. You need to tickle it like this. I wonder if it'll be able to unstick itself. So we are getting further though here. Oh, look, it unstuck itself. It all passed. Looky there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do this for a living though. This is the same experience I've had every time I interact with these tools. All right, let's see what it did. I honestly don't know what it did. I don't know why it kept failing through 99 though. I'll have to figure that out. I'm not sure what the Okay, so we have type data will hold the unmarshaled specific fields. Okay, yep, this is how I would have done it. Ignore this field for what? Yep, this is how I would have done it. Roughly. So let's see how it actually unmarshals it. We also don't need this comment. Okay, formula field, and we can also replace that with any because we're on a newer version of Go. Let's see, formula field represents a formula field type in OnSpring. Yes, it does. Unmarshaled JSON implements the JSON marshaller. This allows for custom deserialization logic based on the type field. This is correct. Does this need to be public though? I don't know if that needs to be public. I need to look that up. Let's see, unmarshal JSON. Does it need to be a public method? Do you think you might have hit your rate limit through 99, like Gemini made too many requests per minute and failed? I guess it's possible. Yeah, I guess it's possible. I mean, the thing is, 99, from what I understand, is just proxying to the CLI, and then the CLI is sending information back to 99. But I guess you're right. I guess 99 could be wrapping, I guess, more context that's maybe exceeding the window. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Looking at the logs that we looked at earlier, it didn't seem totally clear to me why it was failing. Yes, unmarshal method must be a public method to be recognized and called by. Okay, so it does need to be public. All right, first unmarshal the known fields into an anonymous what? An anonymous what? An anonymous struct to avoid infinite recursion. Okay, I didn't know that was something you needed to do. The raw message to hold the type-specific data until we know the type. Yep, that's what we want to do. And if unmarshalling fails, we'll return an error. Now we switch on the type. Yep, this is what I would have done. Let's see, if the type is unknown or doesn't have a specific property, type data remains nil. I think that's totally fine. I don't think I need these comments. Well, that's what I would have done, so thank you, Gemini. Now we just have to add the other field types in here. I'm an agentic developer now. I don't need this either. I'm not sure I totally understand. Oh, that alias is, that's just a, okay, I do understand what's happening there. Okay. Cool. Well, 99 didn't help me do that, but Gemini helped me do that. So my take on the 99 plugin so far is I like it. I like it better than the Copilot experience. I'm not 100% certain I've used it enough to really say I know what I'm doing. There's also another functionality in it where apparently you can search. So you can do something like 9 search. You can say, can you show me all the places that this type is used? NeoVim's such a cool thing. I'm not gonna say need to, but Gemini 3 feels kind of broken. Fair enough. Fair enough. No search results found. Huh. Let's do this. Leader 9S. Whoops. Leader. Show me where this search where this type is used. I wonder if it's because tool calling doesn't work. Because I don't have Gemini in auto approval mode. I wonder if that's what it is. He also seemed like he had added tutorial capabilities as enhanced documentation that 99 can make in a temp folder. Interesting. Have you tried CC in the new year? I had the same experience as you in the past, but in 2026, I'm having great experience with Opus 4.6 and Claude Code. It's evolved a lot. Nice. Nice. Yeah, no, I've not used Claude Code. I've not used Claude. I only pay for Gemini. I've used Opus. I've used the models a lot, but I haven't used them specifically in the Claude Code harness. But I'm not really in that's the thing. It's like I'm not going to say I don't believe that these things can do the things people I believe they can do some of the things people say they're doing. But like, I am having no fun right now doing any of this. Like, I just want to write code. You know, like I just want to sit down and write code and get into the flow state. Which is why I've said, like, if this is the way the profession's going, then I'm probably going to be obsolete and I'll need to find something new to do to make money. Or I need to figure out a product I can build and sell to people so that I can write code the way I want to write code and still have money. Man, this is taking a long time. Okay, so it died again. Why did it die? I think it's because it's trying to call tools and we're blocking it. So let me... hold on, cancel that. Let me try to go into the settings. Default approval mode. Let's say auto edit. That seems dangerous, but I'll come back and change it. Use enter to select, control L to reset, tab to change. So did that change it permanently? Nope, that's not what I want. I think I changed it permanently. But look, just looking at the logs, I think that's why it keeps failing, is because it tries to call tools and it can't. Yeah, auto accept edits. Okay, so quit this guy. Go back here and let's do leader 9 search. Show me where this type is used. All right, maybe it'll succeed this time. Is it really already 7:20? Holy shit, I don't feel like we did anything today. The tech deck, never use Cloud Code. I have 7-day free pass if you want it. I mean, yes, yes. I don't know. Like, this is the thing is, like, I don't know what I would even do with it. The tech debt from vibe coding is insane. It's quadrupled the amount of time it's taken me to implement something I'm working on. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say, King Brownie. Because, like, I share that experience, but I know somebody else is going to say, like, well, you just suck at a vibe coding, Steven. You just aren't doing it right. Right? So, I don't know. I don't doubt that people are being very productive with this stuff. And I'm sure, like, I could be productive with it, too, if I actually enjoyed it. It's just, that's the problem. I don't enjoy it. It's like if I asked one of you guys to go become a plumber, right? It's like, I don't know. You probably could do it, but do you want to do it? Right? That's the question. That's the question for me. When I say great experience, I mean the output is good. I fucking hate agentic coding, secretly hoping that some sort of copyright law makes it unsuitable for work or something. You and me both, Thobison. You and me both. I think I would love for the copyright lawsuits to come out unfavorably for the AI companies. So let's see why this one failed. Let's see, retrieve results. So it looks like it was able to execute. What can I help you with today? Loaded cache credentials. What? Loaded standard error. Why did it respond with what can I help you with today? We gave it a giant ass prompt. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need to use this with open code. That's what I think Prime uses, is open code. How do I close this? There we go. Huh. So first pass take at 99 is I like it. I like it better than Copilot Experience. I don't think I have it quite figured out how to make it work nicely with my Gemini usage, which it sounds like is a questionable choice from an agentic development perspective. Excuse me. But it's cool that it works. I do need to review this code though in more detail. Before I merge it. Why does AI put so many comments everywhere? This is dumb. Why are we doing this? Expected formula field data. That's fine. But why are we? Oh, because of the unmarshalling. Okay, I understand why we're doing that. Why are we writing this as a byte? I don't think we need to do that, do we? I didn't do that in my other tests. Oh, because I'm marshalling the data. Okay. That makes sense. Let's see. That's good. Looks good. Don't need that comment. So basically now I have to do all the not fun part of coding. I have to do the review and the like touching up, but I got none of the fun. Why is this complaining? Unused right to field name. What do you mean? It's unused. Expected no error. Expected field type to be text. I'm not sure why that's complaining. Unused right to field. Let's see. Go. Sent path. Oh, thank you, Bob. That's super kind of you, man. Go unused right to field. Oh, so I guess it's just saying I can get rid of that because I don't actually check it. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Same thing here. And it's 7:30. I gotta go to work. Well, I wrote no code today. All code was written by AI. I guess it's the way of the world now, folks. We must bow to our AI overlords. Thank you, sir. May I have another token, please? Thank you, sir. I would really like some intelligence with my morning coffee. Please, sir. If I allow you to build a data center in my backyard, will you please let me have some tokens? What a dystopian world that would be, you know? Hold on, why does this work? This shouldn't work. Did it implement a list field type? It implemented a list field type. Oh, that's hilarious. This is not a thing. User field is not a thing. This isn't a thing either. This is all hallucinated. This is hallucinated too. This is not a thing. That's not a thing. Okay, so some of this code is hallucinated now that I'm looking at it. This is also not a thing. Oh, shit, I'm gonna have to go through. So some of this is right. This is not a thing. Some of this is, the formula field is right, but I don't trust anything else really that it produced here. So let's remove this shit. I don't. When did that get added? That wasn't there originally. When 99 did it, it wasn't there. But I think Gemini added it. None of that is there. See, I could have just shipped a bunch of shit. Okay. So the formula field's right. The other ones are just complete bullshit. We need to update the test then. Basically, this test is not useful anymore because it just made up shit. This one isn't useful because it made up shit. I mean, obviously, I do believe that, like, if I had been able to provide it with more context, it wouldn't have made stuff up. It doesn't have all the AI doesn't have all the context it needs. Like, if I had given it the open API specification, I'm sure it could have actually implemented these types correctly, just like it did with the formula field. It just got too eager. Eager intern. It's all right. We all get a little overzealous. It's okay. It happens. It happens, man. It happens. It's all okay. It's good. Or this is the list all function. Where are we? Okay, I'm missing something somewhere. Do we need another one of these? Need one of those to go away? I don't know what we need here. There's too many curly brackets. So that's T-run. How do you fold things in NeoVim? Anybody remember? How to fold in NeoVim. Z. Okay, Z, A to toggle fold, Z, C to close, Z0 to open. ZC. So I want to open this, so ZO, and then ZC. Okay. ZC. So is this an additional? I can't figure out what's broken. There we go. Okay, that looks right. Okay, maybe this one's off. Oops. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. ZA, just I think ZA. That folds everything. Okay, so something's off. You have get many. So is it right here? I'm missing one. I don't understand. I think this might be easier to view in Visual Studio Code, actually. Go T-run. There we go. Jesus Christ, I could not figure that out for the life of me. So we have get many, list all. There we go. There we go. Now everybody's happy. Load file. Cool. So I still don't trust that code. I still need to go through and make sure that it's all hunky-dory, but I need to do that when I'm not in a tiny little screen. All right, try out 99. I think you guys will like it. I like it. I'm going to continue to use it. I think if I can figure out how to make it play nicely with Gemini, I think I'll leave it in my NeoVim config for the moment. And we'll see. You know me. I'm not the most AI forward developer, but hopefully I have a few more years left in here. You Google faster than I could type it. All right, guys. I'm going to go to work. I hope you all have a great, what is it, Tuesday? Wednesday? I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning, hopefully. Okay, bye. See you, King Brownie. See you, Thobeson. See you, Bob Knoll. See you, Caffeinated Minds. Bye, guys. Have a good day. Bye. Bye, guys.